Very good evening to you all. You're joining us on Prime TV News. I'm Dilani Jaitilaka. Let's have a look at the headlines first. The Attorney General to challenge the decision on granting bail for Hemasiri and Pujit. A National Security Advisory Board appointed. Showers or thunder showers will occur in many parts in the island. A fake drug manufacturing facility busted. Hong Kong extradition bill is dead. Now for news in detail. Former Defence Secretary Hemasiri Fernando and IGP Pujit Jayasundara have been released on bail. The Attorney General Department states that a revision petition will be filed by the Attorney General challenging the decision to release them on bail. Meanwhile, the magistrate stated that communication activities of the IGP had been curtailed by restricting him attending the Security Council meetings from October last year. The former Defence Secretary and IGP were released on two 500,000 rupee personal bails by Colombo Chief Magistrate Lanka Jayaratne. They were arrested on the charges of negligence in performing their duties in connection with the Easter Sunday terror attack. The arrests were made when they had admitted to hospitals. Hence, they were not produced before the courts. The magistrate stated that charging the two suspects on murdering people under the penal code is a pointless act. She noted that the failure to performing duties is a wrongdoing that is bailable. The magistrate also pointed out that the courts is not bound to remand people to appease certain individuals. She highlighted that though charges have been levelled on inefficiency in carrying out duties, no charges has been levelled on assassination of people. According to the magistrate, the punishment for the negligence of duties is 5-year imprisonment and for committing murders is life sentence. She stressed that the court is not supposed to accept or confirm the views of the complainants. According to the magistrate, if the suspects have been failed to perform their duties, the initial step needed to be done was recording a statement from them instead of taking them into custody. President Maithripala Sirisena has taken measures to set up a National Security Advisory Board to look into the matters related to national security. Dr. Sarath Amunugama functions as the chairman of this board, while President's counsels Kalinga Indathissa, Nigel Hatch, attorneys at law Javid Yusuf, Dr. Ram Manikalingam, Dr. Suren Raghavan are the other members. Board is expected to strengthen the process undertaken to ensure the national security by expressing its views and suggestions in an independent manner, said President Sirisena when the board was convened for the first time under the patronage of President at the official residence of the President. Meanwhile, President left for the United Kingdom today on a private visit to attend the graduation ceremony of his son. Minister Ruwan Wijewardena has been appointed as the acting Minister of Defence. The appointment has been made as President Maithripala Sirisena is undertaking a foreign tour. US counter-terrorism coordinator and a group of experts called on Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. The delegation explained about the gamut of lessons they have learnt on counter-terrorism following the September 11th attack in the US. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe highlighted measures that have been taken by the Sri Lankan government in the post-Easter Sunday attack situation in Sri Lanka. The Premier stated that a centre needs to be set up in the island to coordinate counter-terrorism initiatives. The US ambassador to Sri Lanka and the Maldives, Alaina B. Teplitz, was also present during the meeting. The Met Department announces that a slight change in the prevailing weather can be expected from today. Atmospheric conditions are favourable for afternoon thunder showers over the island, particularly in eastern and Uva provinces. Showers or thunder showers will occur in the Sabaragamuwa central, western and northwestern provinces and in Gaul and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere after 2 p.m. Fairly heavy falls above 50 mm can be expected at some places in eastern and Uva provinces and in Kalutara, Gaul and Mathura districts. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by lightning activity. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the sea area of the coast extending from Puttalam to Hambantota via Colombo and Gaul. Showers or thunder showers may occur at several places in the other sea areas around the island in the evening or night. Winds will be southwesterly and speed will be 30 to 40 kilometers per hour in the sea areas around the island. The sea areas of the coast extending from Hambantota to Batiklo via Potuvil and the sea areas extending from Puttalam to Kankasanture via Mena will be fairly rough at times as the wind speed can increase up to 50 kilometers per hour. Temporarily strong gusty winds and rough seas can be expected during thunder showers. A fake drug manufacturing facility in Kelaniya has been raided by the officials attached to the National Medicines Regulatory Authority. According to Chief Food and Medicine Inspector of the National Medicines Regulatory Authority, Amit Pereira, the value of the drugs seized from the facility exceeds 20 million rupees. A suspect has been arrested. According to Amit Pereira, the license of the suspect had been expired in the year 2013. The case that has been filed against former Minister Basil Rajapaksa and Thiru Nadesan was taken up before the court today. The two defendants have been charged on misusing government funds to the tune of 203 million rupees by purchasing a 17-acre land slot from the Malwana area and constructing a multi-story building. The case has been filed by the Police Finance Crimes Investigation Division. The case will be taken up again on the 19th of November. Meanwhile, the litigation on former Chief of Staff of the former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, Gamini Senarath, and two other defendants was taken up before the Permanent High Court today. The trial at bar stated that the verdict of the case will be declared on the 8th of next month. The case was fixed for trial before a three-member judge bench comprised of judges Sampath Abekon, Sampath Vijay Ratna and Champa Janaki Rajaratna. The Attorney General has filed the case against Gamini Senarath, former Managing Director of the Sri Lanka Insurance Corporation, Piyadasa Kudabalage and Lasantha Bandara. They are accused of illegally investing 500 million rupees in Helenco Hotels Private Limited. The Attorney General had stated that the offence had been committed in between the 1st of February 2014 to 20th of January 2015. The 15th summit of the Asian Coast Guard Heads was commenced in Colombo under the patronage of Minister Ruwan Wijewardena. The summit of the Coast Guard Heads is being held in Sri Lanka for the first time. Delegations from 22 countries are attending the event. Sessions are scheduled to be concluded on Thursday. The Asian Coast Guard Heads Summit is focused on sea pirates. Addressing the gathering, Minister Ruwan Wijewardena pointed out that the gathering is highly important in connection with tackling terrorism based in oceanic areas, environmental degradation and drug trafficking. The Cabinet approval was granted to implement a range of tourism promotion programs in the country. The tourism industry has contributed the GDP by 4.5% during the last few years. In consequence to the Easter Sunday terror attack, the growth of the tourism sector was hindered. With the view of increasing the number of flights arriving to Sri Lanka, the Cabinet of Ministers has given approval to the proposal to reduce operational charges levied on the aircraft's landing in Sri Lanka. Meanwhile, the Cabinet approval has been granted to form a scholarship fund to support students who excelled in GCE A-level. Accordingly, the highly performing students under the streams of physical science, bioscience, technology and arts will be eligible for the scholarship program. The students will be provided scholarships to pursue their education in leading universities worldwide, including Harvard, Oxford and Cambridge. A parliamentary act will be passed to set up the scholarship fund. The cabinet approval was also given to rejuvenation of Meethotamulla project. The cabinet earlier decided to appoint a committee to study proposals on Meethotamulla. The committee has come up with its recommendations and the cabinet of ministers gave approval to implement the project in accordance with the recommendations. Media spokesman of the Ministry of Power and Energy, Sulakshana Jayawardena, says the Ceylon Electricity Board and the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation have come to an agreement pertaining to the supply of fuel. He added that hence no power cut will take place in the future. Parliamentarian S.M. Marikar says the joint opposition has started a malicious campaign to demonize all Muslims in the country as terrorists. S.M. Marikar was speaking at a media briefing held at Temple Trees. He further noted that the joint opposition is making an attempt to win the forthcoming presidential election by Sinhala votes while demonizing the Muslim community. He also said that the joint opposition's intention is to suppress the minorities in different aspects. The parliamentarian said that no agreement like so far has been inked by the present government. He highlighted that former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa signed an agreement with the US. Marikar also stated that the present government did not renew the agreement which was signed with the US during the previous regime. He stressed that he always gives priority to the country before his political party. He said that he will protest against any harmful pact that would be signed with the foreign countries. Meanwhile, parliamentarian Tushara Indunil said that the no-confidence motion that has been brought against the government will be defeated. In this regard, support of some opposition parliamentarians will also be taken. Tushara Indunil said that the present government has faced the highest number of no-confidence motions during its course. The parliamentarian stated that the government will continue irrespective of challenges posed. The water supply in several areas, including Colombo, will be suspended for 24 hours from 9 a.m. tomorrow. Areas including Dehiwala, Mount Lavinia, Kotte, Kaduwela, Maharagama, Boralasgamuwa, Kolonnawa, Ratmalana and Soisapura will be affected by the water cut. 2 suspects have been arrested in connection with the setting of fire to the Aliyawatta Forest Reserve in Monaragala. According to the police, 2 persons, a man and a woman living in the Aliyawatta area have been taken into custody. 8 acres of land in the Aliyawatta Forest Reserve have been destroyed due to the fire. The fire was doused with the support of the residents. Meanwhile, 3 shops in the Kiriyalla town in Ratnapura have been gutted in fire as a result of a fire broken out at an electrical equipment repairing shop. One of the shops caught up in the fire has been fully destroyed. The fire brigades attached to the Horana and Ratnapura urban councils extinguished the fire. Meanwhile, a person was killed in a road accident took place at the Kahatagas Digiliya area. The accident was resulted as a motorbike had collided with a lorry at the Thonigala area on the Konwever main road. The motorcyclist has been killed in the accident and another individual who was travelling with him had received serious injuries. The injured person was rushed to the Anuradhapura hospital. Meanwhile, an individual was killed in another accident happened at the Sacred Town area of Dambulla. According to police sources, the death was resulted as a motorbike and motor car collided head-on. The driver of the car is absconding. A cab has been skidded off to the Paruela of the Walahapitiya area in Nathandia after being collided with a van. The accident took place between a cab that was running from Nigambo to Vaunia and a van from Bena to the Katunayaka airport. The speedy cab that was running on the road had collided with the van due to a technical failure. The passengers who were in the cab were rescued as water level of the Paruela was at a minimum level with the ongoing dry weather condition. Meanwhile, the police has arrested a person who had robbed a series of houses in the Ahaliagoda town. The police was able to recover gold in his possession worth 2.4 million rupees. It was revealed that the suspect has stolen gold acting as a carpenter. Up next is Biz News. Cabinet has given approval for a slew of charges including ground handling, aviation fuel and embarkation levy to be reduced for 6 months to assist the tourism industry to recover after the Easter Sunday attacks. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe presented the Cabinet paper on Sunday, according to a short statement on the Cabinet papers released by the Government Information Department yesterday. In the Cabinet paper, he had proposed to instruct the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation to sell fuel at the same price as the Chennai airport. The Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority, together with the Prime Minister's Office Tourism Minister John Amaratunga and the Civil Aviation Authority of Sri Lanka, prepared the Cabinet paper for the reduction. That's all we have for you today. Have a pleasant week. Good night.